Hey guys, this is a ranked match against Squax or SQ Wax. This is on Ancient Spires, and yeah, so we have a pretty good spawn here against French. We're gonna go for our fast H2 Mangudai to deal with his incoming knights, dropping our Uvu, rallying our sheep onto the town center. Guess my brain isn't working. Gur should be moving over to here. We are building our next villager, or our villagers from there. Villagers rallying over to gold. Our Khan is kind of running around. Let's check out his start. He goes with 2 scout openings, so he's going to get a lot better sheep collection and map control. But it's pretty standard for French players to do 2 scouts, so I kind of was expecting it. And he's just rallying everybody on the food, so he'll probably go for a fast H2. And we're just kind of scouting around the side here. We don't have great sheep collection. We got one over here. This one over here. I do reposition my gur to grab it. I didn't want to lose this one sheep since I didn't have a lot of sheep. I kind of expect double TC or double scout from French. Kind of unfortunate. If I'd gone up to the right here, I would have picked up a lot more sheep. Down in this corner was really barren of sheep. Yeah, so we definitely kind of picked the wrong corner there, unfortunately. But it's just kind of the cookie crumble sometimes. There is a couple of sheep here in the mid still, which I believe we are going to pick up. Yeah, we're on the way to go grab those, it looks like. So, yeah, we're just looking for fast age up. We have 8 on food and 2 on gold. So normally here, I like to transition to another villager on the food, just for the age up time. Excuse me, sorry, but since I don't have a lot of sheep and my con is still a little bit of ways away, I didn't want to overcommit onto food and lose a bunch of food. Yeah, it kind of sucks losing all the sheep there. We had a chance to pick those up. His other scout doesn't get much value with only 1 sheep. And he is, let's see, resources. So he's getting ready to age up here shortly. As are we. So we're aging up. Actually, a little bit before him. It's a little bit of a misplay on his part. But it comes out to our favor here. So after pulling these 4 villagers on the deer stone, we've got our sheep here. And we're rallying them onto the TC. And he is still scouting around here with his other one. He's got some good sheep pickup there. Let's just compare. I've got about half the map scouted, and he's got a good 90% of the map scouted. He's tapping up with 4 villagers, dropping off his sheep, and it looks like he's going to go check out our base now. And he's going to run into our Uvu. He's going to steal the sheep. On the other hand, I'm going to scout up top, and we're going to start scouting his base. Since it is France, I'm not overly concerned about scouting. It's almost guaranteed what their build is. It's always fast H2 into School of Cavalry, Night Production, into Ranges, into second TC. And then it's just kind of a matter of when they drop the ram push you. And they usually do it sooner than later. So our 4 villagers tapping up the deer stone. We pull 2 onto gold. The other 2 onto the archery range. since he only has one scout here and he reaches feudal age just now, I'm not worried about knights raiding me, so I'm just gonna finish out this archer range and then pull back my villagers. Unfortunately, because I only had a few villagers on food and I was massing so many villagers onto wood, I was kind of looking to do a second TC here. Um, we don't have enough food to instantly produce our Mangudai double production, and this is actually going to hurt us. Not having this out and ready is definitely painful. So I think part of it is during the age up process, pulling, you know, one of these villagers onto food is pretty big, and then the two villagers that I usually send over to gold, I might send over just one to gold and one to food. So that way, when they're tapping this up, there's a little bit better chance for us to have enough food to be dropping our Mangudai at the 5-minute mark instead of the. It's going to be almost 6 minutes. So we could be having our Mangudai at the 5.5-minute mark instead of the 6-minute mark. So that's, those 30 seconds is big. This 30 seconds, this Uvu is almost burnt down. So we're attacking here and doing a little bit of damage. We have scouted that his gold line is exposed back here, and we have scouted the rest of the map. We're kind of pulling his scouts away. We kind of knew that his knight was trying to trap us here with his scouts, so we're just going to harass and keep him off. And he is just kind of looking Demaco into a really slow second TC. So it's a steady burn that he's going for the second TC here. And we're still harassing. We do have more Mangudai in production, and we are producing more villagers. Our TC goes a little bit of idle here, which is not good. We should be dropping, there we go, more villagers, which is good. And we're trying to keep this Uvu up. We don't want to lose it yet. And we are getting free damage against this knight. He's getting some good charges in, though. We are losing some damage here. And our Khan is back. So I'm going to have him drop the sheep off and meet up with our Mangudai. I felt like we had repelled the knights. They were still pretty close. I figured they were close. Wasn't sure how far back he had pushed them. But we're just going to keep this, get the fires turned off, and then we're just going to build, I believe, a blacksmith and sit back. We're not going to spend more wood on this because we are still trying to age up to, or not age up, but we're trying to get our second TC out. I sacrificed the second TC timing a little bit to get this blacksmith. I did feel like it was going to be worth it in terms of if I needed to repel more knights. Since we are up to 6 Mangudai, which is a good number to have. He's still kind of holding here in the middle, but he's bringing archers over now. He's got 2 archers. He's got another knight. You can see his production is just 1 archer. He's producing archers almost constantly. Still producing knights. So he's starting to... This is the kind of French timing for hard feudal aggression is going to start. He's almost got enough for a second TC. And we are also looking to have enough for a second TC. So we're going to drop our second TC here shortly. We're just going to drop it right next to our wood line. We could go more expansive and aggressive. This is probably a better location is right here. But I want to be able to provide enough defense, against this French player. I did want to consolidate my defense into just one spot. And a little bit of a misclick here. I thought I shift click my Mangudai further along. So losing another 2 more Mangudai that was pretty big in terms of my damage output for my army. So definitely misplay there. And he has enough stone now to get a TC. So he's kind of macroing here. Okay, so now look at that. Yeah. So he's got enough and he's repulling these villagers off there, which is a good move. He's probably going to send them to wood, I would guess. It looks like they have access. So he's pushing us kind of here. My blacksmith is getting the steel arrow upgrade. He's got 5 archers, so we're trying to pick them off here and there. But we have to worry about the constant pressure with the knights. And yeah, we can't... overcommit here too much. Again, if we had 2 more Mangudai here, we would have cleaned up that fight a lot cleaner. But 3 archers still do a pretty good amount of damage to us. They only do 5 damage per shot, but it adds up quick. So we're just going to reposition. We're not going to be able to hold this Ubu. I'm happy we didn't spend more wood on repairing it. And we're just going to set back our archery range within range of our TC as well as the blacksmith. And just keep our military production going because we see he's got archers, he's got knights. So this is a good sign that you're about to get all in, basically. He's going to, if he's not, he's going to keep trying to aggro me. And then they usually transition to a blacksmith. And so usually... So this range is a little bit, the second range is a little bit late for him. And a blacksmith. So usually they'll have a blacksmith. He's got the wood for it, but he's trying to save up wood to drop the second TC. So that's, I think, kind of where his build has a little bit of a mistake so far, is the second TC he hasn't dropped yet. And he drops a house. He's dropping houses so he doesn't get housed, but he's short on wood now. They're also kind of long distance mining. He's dropping the lumber cabin sooner, so yeah, he's got to get another 200 wood again. So pretty big. These little details like that while you're trying to get your getting your macro correct is definitely a big factor. So he's lost probably around a minute of time, maybe 2 minutes of time in terms of his second TC being up and going. So he's kind of pushing us here a little bit, kind of checking the waters. We are trying to get a stable up because we are we don't really have a really good answer for these archers yet. A little bit of a misplay here. We pull back our Mangudai way late. We're also going to lose this archer or this villager to the archers. We are able to garrison those villas, and we lose 1 more vill here. I guess he doesn't snipe this villager. Okay, which is nice. Okay, yeah, so that was a plus. That was definitely a killable vill. Over here, we did send 1 villager over to drop a tower. And this outpost, I don't know if he has seen it yet. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, behind this, we were raiding his gold line. Okay, so we're just going to leave it on my reveal, selected player only, just so we can kind of see my plays. I knew he had these forces here, and since we had reconsolidated our eco under the TC protection, I felt like it was okay to raid his base, and we would be okay on that. We can see villagers here, and we can see archers here in our screen. And he's kind of pressing us here, so we're just going to have to fall back. And the big thing is here, we saw the 3 archers, and we're gonna press this. We can win this fight for sure. And then the thing is, we want to keep presence around this gold. As you can see, his gold is super low. We got way too much gold being floated right now, which is good in a sense because we'll be able to get upgrades, not have to worry about it, and we can crank out gold units and not have to worry about it. We'll take out that villager, and we can see villager count. We're at 50. And he is at 43 as French. So we've taken a big lead in that sense. And he still hasn't dropped his second TC yet. So this is, yeah, definitely a big factor. He does find my my eco out here on the deer. So he's going to kill these villagers, which is a little bit unfortunate. So we lose a lot of vills there. And he's going to equalize our eco count there. But I'm still running on second TC while he still hasn't gotten his up yet. If he had gotten his second TC up already, I would be in a much worse spot at this point because he should have had a second TC up. So we're just going to roam around his base. I do leave his gold unattended for a while, and he is back on it. And I kind of had a feeling that I had overcommitted in terms of my time down here, but I wanted to check this deer, and I wanted to check this wood line, and I'm going to get a little bit of harass here on his wood, which is going to be decent. And yeah, he's got way too much wood. One thing is floating gold before you can have really expensive gold units. Another thing is floating food and floating wood. Wood is always useful. Always useful. So we kill 3 villagers here. We do see his archers coming, so we're going to pull back. And he's bringing back these knights and these archers. a little bit interesting. Um, we were able to kind of consolidate and defend ourselves good enough for him to not want to play more aggro against us, which is good. But our forces here are super weak. So we're going to roll up again and try to hit this gold line. He's already going hard on gold, and he's dropping the second TC over here. Okay. I don't know about this drop here. I feel like over here on this deer would have been a lot better, right on the deer. That way you'd be closer to this wood line and this gold. Yeah, I don't feel like this is a great position for a second TC. We'll go back to my vision. We're just running up here. We see the two towers. We do see a villager trying to build this, so we're just trying to pull our Mangudai out and survive. And we do with 5 life. So little victory there. Um, Behind this, we see him building battering rams. I did only see 2. I didn't notice that he built on the 3rd, and there was actually a 4th back here being built. So there was 2. We're up to 2 stables. We're producing scouts. We're producing horsemen, and we do have a little bit of Mangudai back in our base. We sent some horsemen over here on the flank, 3 of them, to start burning down these walls and just kind of harass his eco while we can, where we can. In anticipation of these 4 battering rams, we're gonna move our blacksmith. And honestly, I should have grabbed a couple of villagers and started building some stables back here because I've got stables on the front line. Also, in terms of villagers, I got 60 villagers. I've got 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 50 space. So I would have 10 villagers who are not accounted for in terms of being able to garrison them. A little bit of a misplay on my part there. Um, Horsemen coming at a good time during this ram push. We are trying to recommit some of these villagers. We are dropping pastures. Again, might have been a little bit of a mistake dropping pastures instead of stables, especially since my stables are in the front here and being kind of hit. We do garrison some more villagers, try to keep the towers full. And a little bit of sloppiness here. We have 10 villagers right here, 11 actually. And we pull them to start burning this ram, 5 of them, and we pull these 5 around the back to start building infrastructure since our infrastructure was getting taken down by the rams. Again, I should have lifted this stable and moved it over and out. But at this point, we do have enough to age up. So we're definitely in a really rough spot right here. We're at 63 eco and Wax is at 54. So we're still able to maintain kind of an advantage here. We have burned a hole through this wall, but we've kind of forgotten about it. We are aging up with the step readout. Our Mangudai, he doesn't have any knights left here. That's why we're kind of a little bit aggressive with our Mangudai. And these rams are just kind of burning up a bunch of pastures, but I do have 9 pastures back here that are very safe. So we're going to pull some villagers here shortly. Yeah, we're going to pull some villagers. Try to burn down these rams. He does pull back the ram. And I think we commit to burning down 1. I don't want to overcommit against 4 archers. Look, and there's a 5th one. It's not an instant kills against my villagers, but it's a good amount of damage. So if I had overstayed, I definitely would have lost some more. So I have sacrificed basically my whole army for this at this point. My military is up here, and we have 1 more horseman over here, and we are repositioning the deer a little bit closer. I want to be a little bit out of range of his battering ram. We pull our gold vills. We have 1,400 gold, more than enough. It's much more important that we age up versus in our time with this. These villagers are going back onto gold, and these 5 villagers are going to start tapping up our infrastructure that was burnt down, or rammed down, I guess you would say. Let's check out him. He is rallying a small force. His army got kind of wiped, and he's rebuilding it. He's going on gold heavy. He's going on deer. He's going on shorefish. So he's got a pretty decent eco going right now. So it starts pushing me here. I do pull my 2 horsemen that I have. and they're gonna start just chunking out this ram. Pretty cheap investment. 2 horsemen for a ram. Take that trade all day. Even if I think I do lose these horsemen, or lose one of them, but it's definitely worth it. Because we've been pushed so heavy by him, we're dedicating 5 villagers into building towers, and we also are dropping a prayer tent. I am kind of stuck in this corner. My gold is running out. I mean, we have a lot of gold in the bank, but it's not going to last forever. So we're going to want to start building. Start sending some monks out. If we can collect relics, it'd be a pretty big deal in helping us with our eco. Since our gold has finished, we are gonna pull. We see his raid coming in, so we pull our villagers first. But we're gonna send our stat readout along the south here shortly. He's collecting deer over here. He's just trickling. He's trickling troops in. So he's got 2 more stables and 2 ranges. So he doesn't actually have that much military production buildings. He's got basically 5 buildings producing military units, and we've got 3, 4. So we're definitely comparable in terms of being able to keep up with his production. That one extra building that he has, is kind of offset by the distance that he has to travel. Garrison our villages before he can do much to us here, and we do have 1 Springle tower here too, which is going to kind of be a nice little defense for us. So we've got a bunch of towers up. We got 30 villagers onto food at this point. We are building a couple of towers down here, and we're going to start collecting gold. Seprita is setting up. He's kind of scouting around the map, it looks like. He's looking for pocket ecos. And we are going to bring our Mangudai down here, I believe. Relic is coming back. And stables producing full horsemen at this point. We got plenty of food or wood coming in and food, and we're trying to save up our gold as much as possible for some knights that we'll start building here shortly. I just wanted to get some relics in and start turning in some gold here with these villagers. We do pull a couple more villagers too, so we're up to 21 villagers on food, or on gold rather, and 35 villagers on food, with more villagers on the way. We are upgrading our Mangudai to veteran, even though we don't have a big Mangudai force, and we're only rolling on one archery range. We're also getting specialized pick, which is a good move. Let's go back to select player only, just so I can kind of see what these horsemen have been doing nothing basically this whole time. Kind of pushes me a little bit. He's just kind of testing out and seeing what he can see. He gets hit with a couple of Springle towers, so that just kind of persuades him not to push us. And then since he's running away from me, I'm going to push with a force on the other side. Over here, I do finally use these horsemen. Start doing some damage there. Garrison our vills real quick so we can snipe out the scout. We'll get back on this. And then I do want to start getting upgrades on this area. It is very exposed, so a little bit scary there. We're trying to burn down this wall here with 3 vills, or 3 horsemen. And here we got 11 horsemen and 1 knight. So his army is rotating down over here, which I find surprising. It's definitely a bit of an overreaction coming to clean up these horsemen over there. He commits his whole army into that, basically. His 1 scout harasses our priests a little bit, even though he has scouted down this gold over here. So that was definitely a little bit of a mistake on his part. We checked this gold and we check into stone, and now we're going to rotate over there. His army's going to get here. We didn't get to finish burning this down. We are going to be able to pick up this relic real quick though, and our horsemen and knights that were being spawned right here, we're just going to send them up to protect this priest. We did want to be able to bring back this relic home. So while we lose this force here, which is a little bit unfortunate, we are going to be able to pick up this relic, and we have kind of kept the pressure off of our gold here, and we're rallying Mangudai down here. We have gone up to 5 ranges, and we have 3 stables still. So we're at 8 production buildings, and he is at 4 stables, 1, 2, 3 ranges. So we have more production buildings than him. So we're going to be able to fight him in a sustained war 100%. He's going ham on gold here. Jesus Christ, he's got 40 on gold. Um, yeah, I think that's a little bit of an overcommitment to gold. Um, we're at 94 eco. We are able to burn through here, and he pulls his army. So we're just gonna fall back and run away. He's at 93 eco with 12 idols, and we are at 96 eco with no idols. So we're just gonna run away from here. We lose the aggro of some of his units. The other units are still here. So what we're gonna do is just gonna take a long route. His knights start burning down our Uvu here, so we're gonna send our Mangudai over to kind of deal with this. Again, we're still building more cav units at base, but now we're focusing on knights, and we're starting to get our Shiabolims, additional torches from our Uvu, so we can burn buildings down more quickly. This army that we had, we wrapped around, and we're just gonna abandon this fight and run past his forces here. He's got knights that can keep up with us, but the archers aren't going to be able to. And the big thing is we're just trying to distract him here. And he is rallying more forces up here to the front. Behind this, we have upgraded one of our towers to springholds up here just to kind of deal with him. And we're just running through, and he just stops caring about us, which is a good idea in a sense, but it also could be kind of a bad idea. Our relic just got dropped off, which is nice. We do a little bit of idle time here, unfortunately. We definitely, with as much gold as we had, we definitely should have committed to dropping an additional monk out and picking up all of the relics. And we do clean up those two knights that were raiding us. Back in our base, I was kind of trying to figure out where was going to be a good spot to drop the white stupa. I was kind of thinking putting it up front here, but since he's been so aggro, I'm just going to drop it in the back and just be a little bit more secure, a little bit safer this way. And villagers finished this gold, and they're going to rotate onto this other gold. I do reposition the stud readout a little bit closer. I do see his knights as well. At this point, we'll just go to selected player only. We try to intercept the knights with these troops here. And we do end up intercepting them. And we're able to get a full surround here, which is nice. 3 knights are fairly expensive. So we pick up this relic, and unfortunately, on the way back, I think I lose the relic. I'm not sure. We do see his army here now at this point. He's got a lot of archers and crossbowmen, arbaletiers, and he's got these knights here. So we do a little bit of a trade here, and we're just gonna fall back, try to get within our tower range. Towers are being upgraded, are going to be upgraded with cannon emplacements, but we're getting our elite upgrade and our elite Mangudai as well. So we're just trying to hold away from this fight, just kind of harass here, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're just kind of whittling away these knights, trying to get a back charge. And the big thing is our knights are now elite. So that upgrade came in really clutch. Unfortunately, they're circling around there. And he pulls a ton of vills. He pulls 20 vills to drop the keep on us. And at this point, I was pretty worried, because if this keep goes down, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And my Mangudai are shooting at these villagers. I sacrificed basically a lot of army count for this. And I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to react. We are up to 8 stables, so we can kind of fight here. And if you look at map, he doesn't have troops trickling over. And I was raiding behind this. I burnt down one mining camp, and now we're burning down his Royal Institute. With those 3 knights that escaped from earlier, they're still doing some money, which is good. He's trying to drop this keep, and I see that there isn't a constant trickle of troops here. So I was contemplating just consolidating and rebuilding my army in the back here, but at this point, as you can see, I'm clicked up here. I'm consolidating a force. I'm amassed to push, and but we kill all the villagers. We kill all the villagers with that other push, and cannon towers aren't being researched yet. Again, that was a little bit of a mistake on my part since I'm imp age. That's one big reason I like to rush imp as Mongols is to get these cannon towers. It makes your defense a lot more viable. And we're just slow burning down this here with these couple of horsemen. And there isn't troops funneling in here. And so I thought this position was lost, and that's why I stopped rallying troops here. I'm going for 3 cannon emplacements now. But I noticed that this stopped. Troops stopped coming in. They finally started coming in right now. So I've got a decent massive cav now, and we're just gonna dive the keep and not the troops. And the reason why is because the keep does not have a lot of life left. He misclicks his villagers there. If he had kept them there, it might have been a possibility of him finishing it or keeping it alive with that army present. But at this point, we're just funneling troops, and we wanted to commit to a fight because the cannon placement was about to finish. And you can see that here comes the trickle troops, but it's slow and steady. It's just a couple of them. So I think what we can see here is a lack of military infrastructure. We did burn down that, which is really big. That's a really big annoyance. Yeah, military infrastructure-wise, he's definitely way behind us here. He's got 1, 2, 3 stables, 4, 5. He's gonna go up to 5 stables, 6 technically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, 6, and then he's got 1 archery range, 2, 3, 4. He got 4 ranges. So he's got basically 10 production buildings, and we've got 8 stables, 5 ranges. So we've got an advantage in this. We are attacking him, or he finds a knight back here since we had burnt down his Royal Institute, which is pretty big because it affects his upgrades. And we're just going to fall back. Unfortunately, he gets this charge in. Oh, he doesn't get that charge in. That's a big reason why we're actually able to win this fight. But even that these guys were able to get this mine and the Royal Institute burned down was really big. So at this point, we had run out of gold, and we were transitioning to this bottom, this low side, and we're just going to loot. I mean, we do have a lot of gold in the bank. And this was kind of part of the reason I didn't feel like I had good map control, and that he had good map control. I think he had a little bit worse map control than I thought he did. But we are bringing our army over at this point, which is a good sized army. It's definitely going to be able to clean up anything that he's got to push against us here. We have transitioned to this front wood line, and we are getting cannon emplacement up here, just in case we get raided. And we lose this tower, but we did cancel the cannon emplacement, so we could get our stone back. And this army that he's got, we're going to be able to clean up. Behind this, a monk is going up to collect the sacred site, and we do have 3 relics. So we do have a relic advantage, which is nice. So we got pretty much a full wrap around here. Again, the horseman doing this, it's when you A-click and you actually, instead of clicking the ground, you A-click and it hits a unit specifically. Then they don't actually fight; they run around. So I think that's kind of that's one thing about the A move that would be nice if it got fixed a little bit. But we cleaned this up, even though we had really bad micro there. But we are capping the first sacred site, and 96 villas still. So it's still a little bit low on the villager count. He's up to 114, so he's got a stronger villager production than we do. So not end of the world for us. I do like to have, because we are so close to maxing out in terms of pop. We're only 50 pop away. We are an imp. We're dropping Siege Workshops, and we're moving our monastery up here. Let's just type back here to get Siege Workshops back there, just so we can get the improved upgrades. We need to get our monastic shrines for our prayer tent as well. That army that was down there, we're going to burn a hole here, and we're going to take out this mining camp and then this palisade gate. We were trying to send our shaman over to collect the sacred site in the middle. He was getting taken out by the wolf. We're going to burn this down and just raid around the backside. Behind this, we have still a pretty decent force in the front of our base, kind of holding. And we are rallying villagers all the way down here, dropping a new Uvu. He starts to raid our wood line here. And these are the villagers. We do have a bunch more villagers in queue now. And we're just going to garrison our vills here. Since we have this cannon tower, it scares him off, which is nice. We did have Cav nearby and the Mangudai to kind of help. And we are going to reoccupy our villagers. And then we are getting 2 more cannon towers up here to kind of be able to hold anything. So behind this, we're kind of raiding the backside of his base here. His villagers are moving in mass. He likes to move villages in big hunks, it looks like. Which is a little bit easier in terms of micro and macro. And wow, yeah, so he's sending 28 villagers to build a red palace down here. And in terms of gold veins, it's these 2 gold veins and 1 up here. So there's not a lot of gold left on the map. He does have this 1 safe gold in the back. We are burning down some of his eco back here, which is nice. So that's kind of helping us. We're up to 99 vills again. And at this point, we see the red palace going up, and we can see I was rallying villagers down here, and we're just trying to build. We're moving the steppe readout. His knights are trying to hunt us down, and we move our villager production to the north to this other gold deposit. Red palace goes up, and this basically controls this gold 100%. And this gold, we're still able to get these outposts up, and we're getting cannon emplacements, so should be able to kind of hold here. And he starts sending villagers over, and he builds a mill, so that's a misclick there. And he is burning down my steppe readout, so he gets a nice surround and he traps me there, which is unfortunate. And he is mining a lot of gold here. Behind this, my raiding force, I sent another separate raiding force around the north. We killed a bunch of units there, and we killed units down here. Over here, we see he's building a keep to defend this gold, which is a good move. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull all of these cav here. We got 30 units to go deal with that. We are able to clean this up and get our steppe readout out of there. And it's going to the north. And over here, he's mining a good amount of gold, but we are getting outposts with cannon emplacements coming up. The other thing behind this, we got monastic shrines for our siege workshops. Our siege workshops can now get improved roller shutter upgrades. And since he kills all of our villagers rallying up there, we're still rallying villagers up there, I'm pretty sure. And we come in, we're going to tank the damage from this keep, and we're just going to kill all of these villagers. So we're at 96 eco, and he is at 80. And he's dropping hard right now. Behind this, we raided with our Mangudai force under the Red Palace. It's pretty much guaranteed. You can tell the amount of Mangudai that have died here. Absolute ton. But we've idled gold production here, which is good. And it gave us time for these cannon towers to finish. I would have really enjoyed if they had survived a little bit longer. Behind this, we're just decimating his base with our cav. He has no response to that. And this keep is getting burned down slowly but steadily. So we've kind of reestablished ourselves here. And villagers are up here mining gold under the keep, which is kind of funny. Steppe readout hasn't made its way up there yet. It's only partially there. It hasn't been set up. We were trying to build a tower here. If we get one outpost, we're able to stop this gold production here. But there's still 3,000 gold there we can't protect. And we do have 4 outposts, so we're going to be able to hold this gold vein pretty strong. He's going to have to commit a serious force to take that out, or Trebs. Behind this, we're just burning down all of his eco at home. his infrastructure. We're going for houses and farms. Farms is easy money for us. This is basically gold income for us at this point. And we didn't get our upgrade for our bounties, unfortunately. Step Redoubt finally gets over here, and we're rallying villagers to start building towers, and we need to start getting the improved bounties. That's for sure. So we're burning down his base, and we're able to kind of hold a nice position here. And in our base, we are rallying a whole lot of cav. So our eco's at 94, and his eco's at 37. So yeah, it's 100% over at this point. We did a lot of damage behind the scenes raiding with our cavalry here. He wasn't able to recover from that. He had focused a lot of his forces here to contest his gold, which isn't a bad move at all. He does get a Treb out, so our kind of dominance of this area isn't going to hold very long. But we did send our cav out here to start raiding this middle. We do find this stone hasn't been touched yet, and since he is starting to treb us down over here, we're going to send our cav down to start dealing with this. We burned down the monastery, no more gold for him in that sense, and we've cleaned up a lot of production buildings and farms, so we're all over the place, and we've set up towers over here. They're not getting upgraded though. We are getting improved tithe barns. We weren't 100% sure with our gold. So we're just solidifying our position at this point. He's just trying to reestablish here. And then when our cav comes through here, basically, this trap is the only thing that's keeping him in this game there. So we cleaned that up, and yeah, we're able to get a win. So we're able to kind of hold a lot of that aggro and transition and reposition our eco into a more turtled and safe position. So yeah, I think it was a good match. We were able to kind of work our way out of that corner, and yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.